Like I say, this isn't a how-to video. This is just me going over my gear. So I'm not, like I said, you want to seek professional climbers. Make sure you're aware of how you're climbing the trees and all that. But if you guys want me to go more in depth of how to use the equipment, of what I do, like I said, just hit me up in the comments. Alright guys, hunting season's over. Mountaineer Heritage season. Had a couple close encounters but didn't connect, so I'm going to go over my 1 year saddle hunting gear that I purchased that I hunted all year in. So I'll show you what we got. Backpack set up. I got a platform for Amazon, one of the bigger platforms. Then I got a one stick setup. I'll break all this down here. I'll get a little closer view. And then I got the tethered grit saddle with some knee pads, a little extra pouch. Let me get a little closer. I'll get the camera and then I'll go over everything here so you can get a closer look at what we got going on. So here's my saddle set up. I got knee pads that are just attached to it. Got a little pouch I hook to it. It's good to have extra pouch for storage. And then there's another knee pads, and this is the tethered grit. So it's a cheaper saddle, and it's an XL for me. So and then here's my backpack. I got one stick set up. Got a one stick set up that's attached here on my backpack with a rope ladder. I'll go over that as well. So pretty nice backpack. Everything fits in here pretty nice. So I didn't pay that much for it. I think at Walmart this backpack was only $30. So I guess saddle hunting you can kind of spend as much as you want, I guess. But this setup here is pretty inexpensive. About the cost of a nice tree stand, I guess, climber. So let's go over. Let's do the backpack first. So I got this. Of course, I had to put a spray paint job on this, because you can see it's like silver, but did a spray paint job on it. So my platform, I think it is probably, I want to say it's 16 inches wide, 16 inches this way, and I think about a foot back. So for me it's plenty. So I guess it's a couple pounds, maybe 5 pounds. It's not the lightest, but for me it's definitely bigger is better. So you can get some lighter stuff out there, but this is just what I'm running. It's not bad. So there's that. And then my one stick, let's pop this off. So my one stick, I just hook this thing, strap it to the tree as I can reach. And then I have I got a rope ladder here. Amsteel rope ladder. And I guess some words of advice. I guess when you order these things, I don't know, they say 17 and 14. So from here to there, it's a little bit of a step. I kind of wind this up there, so maybe the 14 might have worked better, but I kind of got some electrical tape so it doesn't dig into the AM steel. So I'm moving up the tree. I don't know, probably about, I don't know, a little over 7, 8 foot at a time with that. So, and then in my backpack there, it's just, you know, miscellaneous, whatever you can imagine, you know, whatever you guys want to put in there. I put different stuff, you know, in my backpack setup. And then we'll go over the contents of the satellite. So let's see which pouch I got here. Yes, this is the right one. So first pouch I have is my rope for when I do my one sticking. So this is a pretty good rope setup. This is what I got. I think that this is a 9mm canyoneering rope from Ape Canyon. Then I also got a little clip here to keep it from sliding down the tree. So, and then the end of it, I got a little carabiner for pulling up stuff, you know, when I go up the tree. So I think the rope, I don't know, it's sold as by the foot. I think I got 35 feet of rope, which, you know, I don't need 40 feet. I don't like that steep shot angle anyway. So we got that. Once we hook to the tree, I guess we'll set this up here. Let me get a stand here so I can get some hands-free action. Try to show you what I got going on here. So we're going to rig this up like if I was going to hook it around a tree. So obviously, kind of glad I got this instead of the sewn-in eye, because, you know, you can take this right off the tree. The sewn-in eye, you'd have to fish the rope through it every time. I like this a lot better. I'm glad I got this one. So pretty much, you're going to cinch this loop, close the carabiner up, and then see how that wants to slide. And then if you got some slack in the rope, you want to just pop this in here, and then that keeps your rope tight up against the tree and it doesn't move. So imagine this setup is hooked to the tree, and I'm going to show you my repelling setup I got. So what I have a Mad Rock repelling device, and I back it up. This is 18-inch 6mm, and it's rated for 3,900 pounds, so it's pretty tough. So I'll show you how I rig all of this. This is my safety in between the mechanical device and the rope. So I'm like I got it doubled up, so I'm pretty safe. So let me show you what I got going on. So you just imagine this is hooked to the tree here. I have to make another video of going up a tree, but we're just kind of doing this the last minute here. If you guys want to see me go up the tree and my setup, you know, hit me up in the comments. But I just got off work, so I'm running out of daylight. I figured I'd kind of do this little video quick before I put my stuff away for the hunting season. So you're gonna run your rope around through here. Gonna run your rope around through here. Then when you lock it up, so this end's still hooked to the tree, and then at the end of this is where you're going to hook your carabiner. So your carabiner's hooked there. So this is what you got. You're tight to the tree. It doesn't come loose, not unless you pull this, and then you'll rappel down. So at first I was kind of new to it, but you know, once you do it a lot, you know, you can do all this in the dark once you're familiar with your gear. Just take your time, don't be in a hurry. So what I do is, with this loop, I start with the end here, and then I'll get a loop here, and I will pinch the rope around here. We're creating a friction hitch. So with this Prusik loop, we're going to do about 3 or 4 wraps. So I think that's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go back through here and that's going to give you a little friction hitch right there. So as you pull on it, it's not going anywhere. So what I do with that is I snap that onto my carabiner, which is hooked to the rope, and then the rappelling device is hooked to the rope, so I'm hooked to the rope twice. And this Canyoneering rope from, it's probably the abrasion resistant, I think it's water repellent. I think the specs on it are about 6,800 pounds, I think. So I think it's got a Kevlar coating on it, so I think it's about the best you can get, as far as, you know, that I know of. This is what I got. So at that point, you hook this to your bridge, so you're to your saddle, and then so you're all hooked up, and you want to come down. You're hooked to the tree right here. So then I'll get in my other pocket here what I got. So you want to come down the tree. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hook a smaller rope onto this. So when you rappel down, you can get your rope down. You know, you're just going to pull the slack out of it, and pull that all the way down the tree. So I got a little, so I got another little rope here. It's got a little snap. It's got another little snap on it. So then I'll snap this rope onto here. And then when I go down the tree, I'll throw this down. And then when I'm down on the ground, when I rappel down, I will pull this rope here, pull this loop out of the tree. So you're pulling on this loop, and it'll slide and it'll come apart. Pull all the way down where you're at, and then you can just wind your gear up and roll out. And definitely your knee pads, and I think it comes with a back brace. So saddle hunting, you're going to want, it's got a back strap that hooks into the bridge here. So it hooks into the bridge, so you're kind of, it's like it's got like, you know, your angle you're setting in here, and then it comes back on your back, so it's kind of like a hammock, so it's definitely comfortable. Then, you know, the newer saddles, a lot of the 2-piece saddles, that's kind of where they got that, you know, they're probably a lot more comfortable than this, but, you know, this is, I wasn't for sure, so this, you know, I got, this year, I think I got 3 deer out of my saddle with a recurve. So, you know, recurve hunting is definitely good to get close, and there's no obstructions like a tree stand. You can move around freely and spin around, and, you know, you got a lot of movement, nothing restricts you. So so that's that, the rope. And what else do I have? So I have, so we'll get in the other pouch. So this stuff comes in layers when I'm, you know, it's layered in the pouch as I need it. So my backpack, as soon as I get up to hunting height, I will take This is tethered to the tree, so you can use this many different ways. I just run a loop like this. I run a loop like this, hook it to the tree, and then my backpack, I will hook my backpack onto the tree this way, and then I can hook, I work out of my backpack. At that point, I will strap on the platform, and once I get my platform strapped up, then I'll go back in the bag, and I will get I'll get this hanger. You definitely got to have some kind of a hanger. I hang my bow off of this. I don't like hunting with a quiver, so I just kind of wrap this around the tree. It's got 3 hooks on it, and what Muddy makes this, it's cheap. It's from Walmart. It's only $6, so I don't. Some of them you can go $30, $40, but this is only $5-6. So, it's got a little, you just cinch it around the tree, and then you can hang your quiver. You can hang whatever deer calls, whatever you want with it. So that's that. And let's see. I just have this looped around the rope as an extra. In case I have an extra safety device in case I lose. In case I lose one, I have a backup on this rope. And let me see, dig down in the pouch. So obviously I got the rangefinder in there. Definitely going to need to know your shots. And then I have this, a sender. So this is kind of good because during rifle season I shot a little 3-point, and I don't know, I didn't hook this rope up to the top of the tree. I rappelled down, put all my stuff away, and I went to take my rope down, and I couldn't get it out of the tree. So instead of getting my stick back out and climbing back up the tree, I just keep this with me. You never know, it's good. So how this works is, you hook, let's see here. So what you do is, you fish this through here. I just undid it, but let me see here. So I put my foot So you put your foot through the loop, and then this will cinch down on your foot. Alright, so just imagine this is hooked to the tree. Alright, and then you want to go up the tree. You hook this ascender so you just run it through here. It won't allow it to slip. So you can climb, actually you can climb up the rope. Some people do climb ropes. They leave a little rope in the tree, and then they just use the little rope, pull rope, to fish this rope up through, and then with the trees they want to hunt, they just fish that rope up through and then climb up with this, and then that's how they get up the tree. They don't even carry any sticks or anything. That's how they get up the tree. So then you just work your foot, and then you just kind of, as you take pressure off, you just kind of climb up, pull your foot, take pressure off, and then climb up. So you're using all this in conjunction. Which there's better videos out there than what, I'm just kind of explaining what I got going on. It's not really a how-to, it's just showing you what I got. So you get the idea. As they say, seek a professional. But definitely, patches, that's enough. So it definitely save me. You know, you can climb up the tree. It's not bad. And like I said, if you guys want to see a video of me using the climbing gear and all that, I can, you know, just hit me up in the comments. I can show you how all this stuff works a little better. I'm just basically going over a backpack review, what's in my saddle, and, you know, my thoughts, what I think. So overall, you know, if you guys hunt, it's not bad. I carry this whole setup all year long, right in, and every time I hunt, I carry it in, carry it out, and I did a lot of pheasant hunting this year, so I did some deer hunting, but I didn't really hunt the rut as much as I'd like to, but, you know, we got some deer, so, with the recurve, so that's pretty good. But definitely, it's gonna help you get closer when you scout. You can get right up on the deer, and I guess what I like about it is you can climb up the tree. Doesn't matter what kind of tree it is. You can just, you know, you can just climb right up with the one stick. You can climb right up the tree and, you know, shift your, you know, if you're going around limbs and stuff, you'll probably have to use the, your safety belt to go around to hook yourself as you move. You know, as you go up the tree, you'll have to joggle some stuff around, but, you know, that's not bad, and it can get you up in the tree, and then you can have cover. So that's the main thing. Recurve hunting is you got to have cover, or it can get you up in some trees that fork out, you know, and it's going to get you into some cover, and, you know, it'll get you where a climber's not going to take you. So that's one of the main reasons why I got it. Last year I was hunting with a climber, but I wasn't. I got a, let's see. I got one deer I got an 8-point last year, but I was hunting on the ground. So, you know, to get close to the deer, definitely saddle hunting is the way to go. So definitely, if you're hunting public land, you know, you can take this stuff anywhere. It doesn't matter. It's lightweight. It doesn't weigh anything. I guess the only thing I have is, like, if you're wearing bibs, it kind of wants to slide down. So I'd probably recommend getting some suspenders. But other than that, you know, overall, I'm definitely liking it. I think I like it better than a climber. But, you know, everybody, each of his own. You know, that's just my opinion. So yeah, but my whole setup, you know, you're gonna have several $100s in it, but, you know, I didn't get crazy with. You can buy kits that are already set up, but, you know, you don't have to spend a bunch of money to get just, you know, even if you don't like it, you know, just buy something cheap, or do like I did, just kind of piecemeal it together, what you think you may want, and go from there. So, but yeah, I guess I can go over a little more key on this saddle here, I guess. So it's got some zipper pouches here. It's got another zipper pouch here, and I added this little pouch, you know, for miscellaneous water bottles, whatever. Then it's got your leg straps here, one on each side. Then it's got your belt. You know, obviously it snaps in right here around your waist. Got a bunch of loops around here. You know, you can hang different accessories or whatever you guys want. Here's where you can hook some bibs up to it. It's definitely probably a good idea, because, well, this thing loaded down, it's got some weight to it. Doesn't ride down during the early season, but during, you know, late season, when I got those bibs on, it kind of wants to shim down. So maybe I have to change that up, get some bibs. But let's see. So overall, and it's got the bridge. You know, it's got two Lymans. You know, here's your bridge right here. It's got a Prusik. You know, I'm not much on the Prusik knots, but it's got a Prusik here. that you can adjust. What I found, you know, everybody talks about hip pinch. You know, you can extend this Prusik all the way out, and that's going to change the angle of where you're at. So, but they also make a little, I've seen people have, you know, puts like a loop in it like this, where you can, you know, attach a carabiner to here to not give you some hip pinch, but it's not terrible, you know. So there you go, guys. That's my saddle setup. So I'll probably be running the same thing next year. Of course, that's my first year saddle hunt, so I'm sure I'll probably tweak some stuff, but other than that, that's it. So stay tuned, guys. I guess we'll probably be doing some probably some fishing, and we still got a little bit of, I guess, grouse season and all's in. So I just got a new musky rod. I've been making some baits, so hopefully we get some warm stretches and get a little bit more water in the creeks, and we'll go out here and try to get these fish. So I don't know. Stay tuned, guys. We'll see what happens.